thank you, everybody, for having us here today. Exciting time. It's good to be back here in Charlotte. That means the start of the basketball season is almost upon us. This is an exciting time, I believe, for the ACC and our league. With a lot of teams that are really looking to make that jump.
Now let's go into the press conference and see what the whole coach is going to have to say about it.
In our conference. We're trying to position ourselves to be one of those teams.
And I've had to fix up a lot of pieces from what happened last season ago. There was up and down, yawn.
Marcus and Braden here with us.
Luckily, have made it to the postseason in the tournament. Like, that's the worst record I've never seen, you know?
Last year, they only got to play 18 games together out of our 33. So, having these guys together on the floor is really important for us. But having these guys along with, we had 7 total returnees and added top 10 recruiting class in the country. Also added the nation's leading rebounder in Carson Tout from Northern Arizona. So we've put together a group that is ready to compete. Ready to really help our league take the next step.
Coach, thank you. Questions for Coach from the room? And again, as you would, please offer your name and the agency that you are with as part of your introduction. That would help. Coach, if you follow the center aisle up to about the 4th row, that'll be your first question.
Brett Friedlander, Hoops HQ. In an era in which continuity is almost non-existent and teams have to start over from scratch basically year for year, what's the secret to keeping all those guys?
I think for us, it's come through recruiting, right? The guys of the 7 guys that returned, they all started at Notre Dame as freshmen. That's been the key. They know what they're signing up for when they come into the door, right? They know how challenging and difficult it's going to be academically. But they also know now, after a year or after 2 years, like how they can get better. Right? We put a plan together for guys and player development, and I think you've seen guys make steps. And I think you've seen these 2 guys really grow as players, and I think you'll see another crop of guys that nobody's really talking about that played for us last year make a huge step in their game. So when you treat people the right way. When you try and let them or do the best to give them the best student-athlete experience that they can get, if they can see opportunity and hope for their games individually, but for our program and where we're going as a team, I think that's allowed or given them, a good feeling about staying.
Coach, right side, 5th row, almost to the air wall.
Hey, Coach, QCB, Fox Sports Radio Charlotte. We've seen coaches in college basketball and college football and landscape of recruiting or NIL and transfer portal get so frustrated with things are now as far as the recruiting situation, they actually step down. How are you able to deal with those type of situations, or have you even came to that point yet?
Yeah, I signed up to be a college basketball coach, right? I coached in the NBA for 6 years. But my dream and goal was to be a college basketball coach, and I'm living my dream right now. But it's constantly changing. The game is constantly evolving. I don't think you can be set in any kind of ways, right? If you are, maybe that's why people are stepping down. But if you're able to evolve and adapt and do things on the fly, then you can have some success, right? This is going to be my 5th year at this level as a Division I head coach, and things have been different every single year. And the moment you get frustrated, or the moment you start looking left and right at what everybody else has, then the moment you take your focus off of yourself and your team. And all I'm focused on is trying to make Notre Dame the best program they can be.
Coach, left side, 1st row.
Coach Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. You said just a little bit before that it comes down to treating people well and that relationship side of things, and kind of going off of what you just said, we live in a transactional world. but you seem very relational, and you've been that way as you've stood at the podium over the years. Just what you could say about valuing the relationship, the connection, and the things that don't go out of style, so to speak.
Yeah, I think, that's a part of, you got to be who you are. We use a company that does some personality assessments, and it does a DISC assessment, but one of the things it also talks about is the values. And my top 5 values, right? Competitiveness is in there. Like, I'm super competitive. Like, when it's time to play games, like, I'm fired up as anybody, and I'm trying to win. But my other ones are family happiness, friendship, cooperation, affection. Like, those things are really important to me. Those things are really important to how we treat our guys on a daily basis. Those things are really important in the locker room and the guys who they're surrounded with on a daily basis as well. So, it always goes back to that. And if you do those things and somebody still leaves, like, that's okay. You've done everything possible in your power for them to stay. And it's a choice. Like, it's okay. Like, everybody gets to make choices. I make choices every single day. But you have no regrets because of, you're doing the right things day to day.
Coach, your last question from the podium. A familiar face is walking the halls again in South Bend. Pat Garrity.
Yeah, it's an honor to get a chance to share an office with Pat Garrity. He's right down the hall from us on a daily basis. Somebody that, really understands Notre Dame as he was an academic All-American. He was a All-American on the court. He was the player of the year in his conference. He was a first-round draft pick. He played in the NBA for 10 years. He also worked in the NBA. So his knowledge and understanding of front office, which is what this is becoming now for us is in college, of how to handle that, how to build those relationships with players, with families, with agents and such. And, he's really taken a lot off my plate and allowed me to really coach and focus on our team and focus on us becoming the best program that we can.